7 Things you may not know about Genghis Khan. He executed his own brother over a piece of fish. Genghis was forced to deal with the severity of life on the Mongolian steppe from a young age. When he was 9 years old, rival Tatars poisoned his father, and his tribe eventually exiled his family, leaving his mother to raise her 7 children alone. Genghis was up hunting and scavenging for food, and as an adolescent, he may have executed his own half-brother in a food quarrel. Rival clans kidnapped both Genghis and his young wife while he was a teenager, and he spent time as a bondsman before setting up a daring escape. Despite these challenges, he had established himself as a formidable warrior and leader by his early 20s. He began establishing relationships with the chiefs of significant tribes after gathering an army of supporters. By 1206, he had effectively united the steppe confederations under his banner and began to focus on external conquest. He had a feast on top of his vanquished enemies. At the Kalka River in 1223, the Mongols defeated the Russians. The Russian general then surrendered. Khan had them firmly chained and placed beneath a wooden platform. The Mongolian leaders, including Khan, sat on this podium. They celebrated their victory while their adversaries were slowly crushed to their demise. He was responsible for the demise of as many as 40 million people. While it is impossible to know for certain how many people succumbed during the Mongol conquests, many historians estimate that the figure is in the 40 million range. According to Middle Ages censuses, the population of China fell by tens of millions during the Khan's reign. And experts believe he may have assassinated 3/4 of modern-day Iran's population during his conflict with the Khwarezmid Empire. Overall, the Mongol raids may have lowered the global population by up to 11%. The Soviets tried to snuff out his memory in Mongolia. Although Genghis Khan is now regarded as a national hero and the founding father of Mongolia, the mere mention of his name was forbidden during the Soviet era in the 20th century. In an effort to eradicate any remnants of Mongolian nationalism, the Soviets attempted to bury the Khan's memory by eliminating his tale from school textbooks and prohibiting pilgrimages to his birthplace in Henti. After Mongolia gained independence in the early 1990s, Genghis Khan was eventually restored to Mongolian history, and he has since become a recurring motif in art and popular culture. The Great Khan is commemorated by the nation's major airport in Ulaanbaatar, and his face appears on Mongolian currency. Some of his most trusted generals were former enemies. The Great Khan had a strong eye for ability, and he frequently promoted his officers based on competence and experience rather than status, genealogy, or even former allegiances. During a fight against the enemy Taijid tribe in 1201, Genghis almost succumbed after his horse was knocked out from beneath him with an arrow. When he later confronted the Taijid inmates and wanted to know who was to blame, one brave soldier came up and acknowledged to being the shooter. Genghis was impressed by the archer's audacity and appointed him as an officer in his army, giving him the posthumous moniker Jub, or Arrow, in recognition of their first encounter on the battlefield. Jub, along with the legendary General Subutai, rose to prominence as one of the Mongols' best military commanders throughout their invasions of Asia and Europe. He executed every Tatar male taller than 3 feet. When Genghis was 9 years old, the Tartarus poisoned his father. At the age of 20, the future emperor was ready to get his revenge. He destroyed the Tatar army. Then he made sure there would be no retaliation by beheading every Tatar man taller than a linchpin.